Greetings and welcome to Jesse I Interviews, recorded and produced on the unceded lands of the Wurundjeri Woi-wurrung people of the Kulin Nation. This episode features an interview and a live performance by Australia's own Dub FX alongside Mr Woodnote, recorded live in the studios of PBS FM back in January 2020. I don't think this one really needs much of an introduction, but it's a great interview, I reckon, and a great live performance. Let's get right into it. Jesse I Interviews Dub FX live to air on PBS back in January 2020. Listen to 106.7 PBS FM. Babylon Burning is the name of the program. We just heard Dub FX from a few years back from the album Thinking Clear, a tune called So Are You. But rather than me talk about it, let's let the man himself tell us a little about that one. Ben, thank you for joining me here, Dub FX himself in the studio.
You're welcome, Jesse. Thanks for having me, man. Yeah, it's awesome.
And we're also joined by Woodnote as well. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
So let's start at the beginning. I always like to get to get things really grounded. So Ben, I want to ask you where you were born, what life was like for you growing up.
So I was born in Melbourne. My mum's Italian and I moved to Italy when I was 9 years old. So I lived in Europe for about 3.5 years and I moved back to Australia, started high school. And that's when my brain changed around a bit because I kind of didn't fit in Italy. And then when I came back after living in Italy and being Italianized somewhat, I didn't fit in again when I came back to Australia. And so my brain had this kind of, I guess I became naturally transgressive and counterculture in that, rebel music. So I don't know, I just feel like it just, cringe. I don't know, it just kind of changed the way my brain felt because exposed to different cultures, and then you get to, in Australia I had loads of people at high school telling me, no, that's not how it is, man, it's like this, and you're like, well, that's not how it is somewhere else, and it might be how it is here. So my brain kind of rewired itself in a way that made me think, I don't feel like I'm Australian, I don't feel like I'm Italian, I feel like I'm from everywhere, I guess, to some degree.
What about the relationship with reggae music?
So that started when I first got into I was into punk rock growing, like when I was 13, 14, Green Day, The Offspring, all that sort of stuff, and then I got into Sublime, and I was like, hey Dad, listen to this, it's called reggae music, and my dad listens to Sublime, he's like, that's not reggae music. And the next day he came home with Bob Marley Legend, and that was like the beginning for me.
How old were you then?
That was year 7 or 8.
Okay, yeah, it's around the same time I got into reggae, a bit later for me, but similar experiences with my dad.
Right, yeah. Well, it's not like it took me a few years to really understand what reggae was. I just thought there was Bob Marley. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Now, let's hear about your career, because it's been an interesting trajectory, the viral fame and everything. Can you tell us a story about how you came to be the Dub FX we know today?
So before I was Dub FX, I was in loads of different bands around Melbourne. I was in like a metal band in high school, and that kind of carried on after high school for a few years. I was also jamming with loads of jazz musicians. In fact, I used to jam with the band that eventually turned into the Cat Empire, but not just them, heaps of people that kind of around that scene. I was also in a hip-hop soul kind of band. I was doing acoustic gigs by myself. I was emceeing over breaks and house music. So I was kind of delving into loads of different things. And what I guess I carried with me from band to band was my effects pedal. I was the only, because I wasn't a very good vocalist compared to some of the people out there, I was using these reverbs and delays of my voice. So I brought something different. And, people used to call me the icing on the cake guy sort of thing. Like, I can't remember what exactly they called me. It was something along those lines. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, that was it. Like, they used to call, anyway. So I was just that's what I did. So I came around, I brought my effects pedal, and I learned how to use my effects pedal over my vocals in loads of different contexts, from metal to reggae to hip hop to jazz and all that sort of stuff. And then I've discovered looping through this guy Mal Webb. I don't know if you've heard of Mal Webb. He's from Melbourne. He's amazing, and he's like a vocalist, and he uses a loop station in his show. And when I saw him, it just blew my mind, and I was like, wow, if I can marry the effects pedal with the loop station, I could do some really cool stuff. And so, but before I even did that properly, I packed up my bags and went to Europe and just started street performing, and I put those things together basically on the street. I just started figuring it out on the street, and that was basically the beginning of it. It took me about 6 months to understand what I could do with my vocals, with beatboxing, looping that, putting these synthy bass lines with the effects pedal over the top of that. And it took me about 6 months, and then I became WFX, I guess you could say.
But there was an element of viral fame that helped propel you in those days?
That came after. So 2006 is when I started, and then by about 2008, I'd sort of figured out what I was doing in my sound, and I wasn't really thinking too much about being viral. I mean, that wasn't even a thing yet. It was just MySpace. My plan was to go traveling, street perform, get inspired enough to come home and write this amazing album, which I would then get signed with and then win a Grammy. That was kind of like my 20-year-old brain.
Okay.
And at that time, that was kind of like the only way, you know what I mean? There wasn't this sort of viral success and all that sort of stuff. But then as I was street performing and people started, like camera phones were coming out and people started sharing it, and all of a sudden I started getting bookings for like Eastern Europe and countries like that I've never even thought about. I realized it was coming from these YouTube videos that other people were posting and Facebook and all that sort of stuff. And it all just kind of took off on its own. I guess I caught the first wave of sort of viral video success, and because I didn't really know what was going on, it took a little while to figure it out, but that was it.
Well, it's interesting from my perspective here in Australia. I mean, my focus, as you know, is always on Jamaican music, but I started to see this name WFX, and I'd start seeing it on all these European festivals up there with all these really big Jamaican names, and then eventually it started to be that I was seeing this name WFX above all these other Jamaican names, and I'm going, what's going on here? Because
you're like, who is this guy?
Yeah, he's from Melbourne. Like, what? So how did it happen that you you went from making these videos or having people shoot you on the street while you're street performing to headlining major reggae festivals all around Europe and around the world?
So in 2000, because I was doing so much street performing, like 4 days a week, I was selling a lot of CDs, and because there was no one else beatboxing and looping on the street at that time and doing what I was doing, I guess. I mean, there was a couple of people, but probably not going out and doing it as much as I was. And then I met this guy. I met Mikey in Bristol, which is Mr Woodnote, and I also met this guy Ben Dowden, who's a filmmaker, and he filmed a couple of videos, and that was the first time we decided to actually make a proper video as opposed to just letting other people film me and upload it, because that's what YouTube essentially was in the beginning. It was just people uploading their own stuff. And we thought, let's put up a polished product. So he came with a real camera, and I recorded the audio. It was still
you on the street, right?
Still me on the street, but we filmed me. So he filmed me on the street with a proper camera and with but a proper audio feed. And as soon as they went up, they just went viral super quickly, because people were already searching for me because they'd seen me on the street. They wanted to show their mates, because they show on the CD and they're like, well, I don't know what I'm listening to. How do I know this is a guy looping his voice? So I need to show. YouTube was really important for showing the transparency of what I did. And so once that happened, then it kind of exploded, and all of a sudden the bookings just came in. And I mean, it's not just reggae festivals. I remember last year we did a metal festival, a yoga festival, a reggae festival, and like an EDM festival all in the same weekend. You know what I mean? So I'm really lucky that I can sort of bend between, like I do a bit of reggae, I do a bit of drum and bass, I do a bit of hip hop. We add lots of jazz in there because he's jazz trained, and I love jazz. So there's a lot of stuff going on, so we can sort of expand.
Now, in recent years, you've really cemented the relationship with Jamaican music, spent a bit of time in Kingston, made some crazy videos, Capleton, Jar 9, Kabaka Pyramid, big Jamaican artists. Tell us about the experiences there and marrying your sound with the Jamaican sound.
That was awesome because, I'm super heavily inspired by Jamaican music, especially the vocalist and the production, it's just even Cuban music as well. Like the Caribbean generally is a really important staple in what I grew up listening to. Because my dad, when he got me into Bob Marley, he was heavily into Afro-Cuban All-Stars, Buena Vista Social Club. He was into that stuff. So I went from loving punk rock and, you know, Faith No More and Beastie Boys, and then going into this different Caribbean thing, and that really helped me. So when I went to Jamaica with my wife for our honeymoon, actually, a couple of years ago, we decided that was the idea. And
it's an intense place to go.
I know, right? Well, we went to Panama as well, so and that was a bit more chilled out, sort of.
Not much.
But yeah, so when I just have basically a bunch of friends. Luckily, because I've been doing what I've been doing for so long, and I know so many people within the reggae community all over Europe, they had loads of contacts, and also Monkey Mark, you know, Monkey Mark. He helped me with some contacts, and so basically I was able to get enough people. It sort of worded up that I was on my way ahead of schedule, and so I was there for 11 days and I cut 11 dub plates.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any standout experiences from that?
Look, there's some pretty, you know what, it's not that it's I don't feel like, I mean, it is a dangerous place, of course it is, but I think it's a bit more of a thing where if you're fresh off the boat, they will definitely hone in on, you know, making you feel uncomfortable, because I don't know, it's just like the way it is, the way things are done there. And once you kind of learn how to hold your ground, it doesn't feel scary anymore. And you kind of learn how to give back what you, respectfully, obviously, but you kind of get a feel for how to navigate, and then it becomes easier. But Capleton was a really fun experience, going to his house and cutting a dub plate with him. Also meeting Horace Andy. When we did a dub plate with Horace Andy, I was actually supposed to do one with Eka Mouse, but he broke his foot that day and he needed to get a cast or something, and so the cameraman Raphael, who was helping me getting these, he was like, we can't get him, he's not coming. And I was already set up in this studio, and he's like, what about Horace Andy? Do you like Horace Andy? I'm like, yes. He's like, I'll get him down. And 30 minutes later he walked through the door. It was, you know, that's the way it is.
Yeah, things happen quick in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Or they happen very, very slowly. It's one of the two.
That's right, it's true.
Now, obviously these days for your live shows, it's not just the effects pedals and the loops. You're doing full band stuff. That's why we got Woodnote here as well. Tell us about the live show.
So that's a different thing altogether, where I've got to have drums, bass, keys, horn section. I'll play guitar and sing, and I don't do any looping or beatboxing.
Right.
Because this new album called Roots, it's sort of like a throwback to my roots, where I used to be in those bands doing reggae and jazzy, sort of samba-y kind of stuff. So we do a lot of that. And a lot of the songs that I sing with a loop station and beatboxing originally was written for bands to be played like that. So now I'm finally getting to actually explore what it actually feels like playing with real musicians, as opposed to relying on looping, because it's very interesting to watch someone loop for about 25 minutes, and then it can also get boring, you know what I mean, because it's the same thing over and over. So I kind of, in my live show now, when I perform with Woodnote, we do a bit of looping. We have some stuff that we play back, loops that are pre-recorded that we can mess around with and change on the fly and add effects over, and that's kind of interactive. And then we're also working with some new tracks off the new album, which I recorded with the band. And we're actually pressing up some dub plate instrumentals of those tracks, and I'll actually have just one record player, like old school style, on stage, and I just play the record, which is the backing track, and me and Mikey, I sing over the top and he plays his solos over the top, and that's us interacting with the band from the studio, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So the launch for this album is this Friday night coming at the Nightcat.
Yep. 141
Johnson Street in Fitzroy, not far away from PBS. Tickets on sale now. And just looking at the website, they're actually really cheap too. Like, is this for real? $12.48 a ticket?
Yeah, man.
That's crazy. Love it.
Well, you used to get to see me for free in the street,
well,
right?
Okay,
so
yep.
That's my mentality.
So that's Dub FX launching the brand new album Roots next Friday night at the Nightcat. But you're going to give us a little taste now. Are you going to do things from the new album?
Yeah, I'd love to.
So you tell us about the setup you brought into the studio.
So I tried to minimize, rather than beatboxing today, I was going to play some of the new stuff. So I'm just got the Akai MPC Force thing, which is playing back some certain tracks that I can dub out and mix around with and, you know, restructure and stuff. So I'll just be singing live and playing back that sort of stuff off the fly. Sort of like hard disk recorder stuff, like the old dub producers used to do. And then Woody's going to jump on the sax and play some solos.
Mad. All of this live in the studios at PBS. I'm going to just go to a message from our sponsors and we'll get straight into it, yeah?
Sick, let's do it.
Mad.
Moondog Craft Brewery has recently opened their huge new venue and brewery in Preston. Moondog World has DJs playing soul, funk and disco Thursday through Sunday, a huge lagoon, full kitchen and 72 taps. Throughout January, show your PBS member card to get a free pot every time you visit. Head to the Moondog World Instagram to keep up to date with all their events. Moondog, proud PBS sponsor.
Yo, check it, 1, 2, can you hear us in the studio? Yeah, alright. Let's kick this one off like this. Fire every day, burning in my alleyway. Someday I'm gonna wanna fly away. Time is underway, now tomorrow's yesterday. But today never seems to go away. Fire every day, burning in my alleyway. Someday I'm gonna wanna fly away. Time is underway, now tomorrow's yesterday. But today never seems to go away. The system is a mess, I feel it in my chest. My people suicidal, yes, they're getting so depressed and feeling super stressed. Them acting all possessed, disconnected from humanity. And so I must suggest to focus on community, and unity is wise. And realize the beauty when our voices harmonize. We have an opportunity to reacclimatize. So put your phone away, let's look each other in the eyes. Don't look so unimpressed, you know you're self-obsessed. Individualism got you and you're now a narcissist. So step up to the test, your one and only quest to open up your heart and mind and realize you're blessed. It's time for us to think about the youth and empathize. Let's build a better future from the truth and not the lies. We need to get together now and revolutionize. Otherwise, we'll only ever hyper-normalize. It's a fire every day burning in my alleyway. Someday I'm gonna wanna fly away. Time is underway, now tomorrow's yesterday. But today never seems to go away. Fire every day burning in my alleyway. Someday I'm gonna wanna fly away. Time is underway, now tomorrow's yesterday. But today never seems to go away. Woodnote. To the sky and see the world is passing by. I'm a soldier of fire, I'll keep my head up high. I will always shine my light upon the truth and on the lies, and all forsaken judgment on the ruling of my mind. So I'll break away the chain from off my neck and realize that I gave away my freedom for a culture I despise. I let them wash my brain and keep me dumb and satisfied. But now I'm even stronger in my spirit, watch me rise. I'm a soldier, searching for my soul. Rhythm is my weapon and my lyric is my call. I'm a soldier, you can see me standing tall. I will always get back up even if you see me fall. I'm a soldier, searching for the truth. There ain't no way to win and so there ain't no way to lose. I'm a soldier and I'm waking up the youth. Yes, I'm waking up the youth. Alright, it's a fire every day burning in my alleyway. Someday I'm gonna wanna fly away. Time is underway, now tomorrow's yesterday. Yeah, yeah. Today never seems to go away. Fire every day burning in my alleyway. Someday I'm gonna wanna fly away. Time is underway, now tomorrow's yesterday. Yeah, yeah. Woodnote, bust me a solo before the riff go. to PBS, Jesse I. Babylon is burning. On fire every day, burning in my alleyway. Someday I'm gonna wanna fly away. Time is on the way now, tomorrow just today. Today never seems to go away.
Mad, love it. I don't know how it sounded that there on the radio, but it sounded deadly in the studios of PBS here. Dub FX and Woodnote live in the studios. Keep it going. Let's keep it running, man.
You want another one?
Hell yeah.
All right, give me 1 second. Let me just load up another tune for you. So how about a tune called Pull Up? This one's good. It's my latest single off the new album. And normally it's featuring my wifey, Sahida Apsari, but she's not here, sadly. So what we'll do is I'll do a verse for her. All right, check this. Pull up the rhythm, yeah, we better pull it quick. Burn up the fire till early morning. Now we're reaching high and we about to hit the peak. All my warriors now come and join in, right? So let them stop you all get in your way. You can spread that fire, sit and meditate. Say what you mean and mean what you say. You got the power always of singing dong, dong, dong. Pull up the rhythm and the fire. Dong, dong, dong. Pull up the rhythm and the fire. Alright. Dong, dong, dong. Pull up the rhythm and the fire. Dong, dong, dong. Pull up the rhythm and the fire. What's that way? Fill up that room with a white light from your soul shine. Step on the rhythm, yes I know we gonna feel fine. Pick up the pace of the night, keep on every bass line. Synchronize the drum with your waistline. Oh, you know, we gonna give it slow. Let the drum make you move and dance with that flow. Shake your whole body from your head to your toe. Jump up to the sky when the bass drops low, right? I get down like this when the DJ gets self-righteous. I know you like this when the DJ come and take them away. I see your brightness, vibrate to the sound of lightness. Oh, you're speaking it like this, fire, burn it higher with. Bring it down one time. Rude boys and selector gonna make you feel fine. Konnichiwa, one is the call for your rhyme. Rude boys in the place with the musical crime. Yo, fill up that room with the bass line from that speaker. Turn up that microphone, call up on your neighbor. Rude boys with the bank rockers and them ravers. Everybody is welcome, bass line savior. We got to make sure the respect is given for the power of the bass line within. And those who don't know, they can't be forgiven, for they do not know it's about to hit them, bow. Double Vex and Woodnote rock foundation, bow. With a music that can move all our nation, bow. They try to shut this down and change the station, bow, but they can never stop the vibration. They take it from the studio to the dance hall. You feel it and you hear it at the stereo. We play it loud and my heart rock the whole world. Big up them rude boys and big up the rude girls. Sending out love to my wifey, Sahida Apsari. Singing dong, dong, dong. Pull up the rhythm and the fire. Woodnote, you ready to bust some stuff right here? Busting it out live on PBS, right? Take it for a journey.
We feel this vibration every day. The bass line's booming in these rhythms that we play, yeah. I know that you can hear what I say, so step up to the floor, let your troubles wash away, yeah, yeah. Because your spirit's harmonizing, your mind and your body's optimizing. Yeah, I know that the music's hypnotizing. We are fear fighting, no compromising, ayy. So let the truth come through. We break down the lies and all the fake news. Respect the innovations and breakthroughs. Watch it get corrupted by how the snake moves, while all the psychopaths, them all make the rules to keep us all dying, keep us all fools. So we the uprising, we got the clues to revolutionize with the truth. Right? Down, down, down. Pull up the rhythm and the fire. I pull it up now. Down, down, down. Pull up the rhythm and the fire.
Yeah, mad thing. Hey, it's not every day we get Dub FX live in the studios of PBS here. What do you say, one more?
One more?
Yeah, man.
I'll do you one more.
All right.
Up another track. This one, last one I'll play you is basically my ode to reggae music. I wrote this one on just after I came back from Jamaica, actually. So it's not, even though it's not necessarily a reggae groove, it's kind of all about it anyway. So
all right.
Check it.
All right. Okay, I was listening to reggae since I was a little tucker. Introduced to Mr. Marley by my papa. Gave me inspiration, he taught me to be tougher. Gave me education on the smoking marijuana. Now I love the vibe, but I'm no Rasta man. I understand the culture, but it's not where I'm from. I'm all about the truth, I'm all about the fun. So thank you reggae music and Jamaican rum. Moving to the dance hall, jump into the stepper. Reggae more from flavor, yo, and don't forget the rocker. Listening to Derrick Harriott with my lover. Grooving out the Capleton and Sizzler with my brothers. Now I love the bass lines and I love the drums. All about the fire and the inspiration. No matter of the weather or the situation. So feed me reggae music when I rise up with the sun. I'm a rude boy when I get up on the stage. I rip the microphone out on the streets all the day. I brought my sound system with each and every place, with a beatboxing style and a super heavy bass. So now you feel my spirit, now you see my power. Strong like a pyramid and tall like a tower. I'm here to inspire, here to self-empower, and open up your mind like a flower. Alright, the dub voice rhythm in my soul every day. The sound system culture in my blood and my veins. A Caribbean flavor in the music that I play. Help my intonation with the words that I say. Now I'm a soul rebel with the motivation to wake up the brainwashed in the Babylon, to unite the people from separation. Like Barrington Levy, here I come. Alright. To the dark white crew, mashing up a rhythm, I'm a silent to you. Yeah, even new vibe when I'm a come through. I hit the frequencies that make your face screw right. You know it's real, I tell you that it's true. I give it to you twice like a deja vu. Now you're gonna jump like a bush kangaroo. When the bass drops, you know what to do. Yourselves, yo, double flexing live at PBS studio. This song and a dibby song. How hear this? And this one coming straight from out of the dancer.
Yeah, Dub FX live in the studios of PBS. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Dub FX And Woodnote in the studio, fully live. We do give thanks. It's a mad thing. A genuine pleasure to have you in on the program. And do remember, the album is launching the same day as the album launch party. It's not often that seems to happen when the album actually comes out on the same day as the launch party, but it's next Friday, the 31st of January at the Nightcat, 141 Johnson Street in Fitzroy. The new album is called Roots Dub FX.
Thanks, but how's it normally happen? What are you supposed to do? What's the normality?
They're usually like a month apart. Every time I see there's an album launch and then the album came out already 2 months before the album party or vice versa.
Really? I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I should do that.
No, you're doing it right. You're doing the synchronized. I like it. Anyway, thanks again, Dub FX.
Bless you, man. Thanks so much for having us, man. It's awesome to be here and it's a proper honor, man. Thank you.
Genuine pleasure. Thank you. Dub FX and Mr Woodnote performing live in the studios of PBS FM back in January 2020. That's it for this one. Thanks as always to the Patreon supporters, the Don Armagideon Time, the Real General Empress Irie, me Idrin Tom Taniki and me Chargy DJ Pablito. If you're not in a position to become a patron but you do want to support the podcast, do remember you can give a 5-star rating on whatever podcast platform you use. Apparently that makes a big difference to the show getting out there to others. Of course, the other way to help it get out to others is simply by telling any other reggae friends, reggae nerds that might like to tune in. On that note, thanks for tuning in until the end, as is every time.
Final frontier, Babylon pushing on all of that fear. So let's get all the what we got here. Everybody gather round cause I got an idea. And maybe bold and nobody's clear. The zombie nation is approaching here. Hey.